Okay. So there's a lot of psychological cleverness going on with these things. And it's interesting to think about. We all talk about, finding the fun, and we thought of fun ideas, and we thought of clever game ideas. But who does brainstorming for new psychological locks and keys? Not very many people do that. And that's something worth thinking about. Are there new psychological angles that you could find? Because every single one of these has succeeded off a clever psychological angle. But there's more than that. There's something else these have in common, not just these psychological tricks. What these all have in common is they are all busting through to reality. We're used to, in the old days of gaming, it being all about fantasy. It's all about fantasy. Bing Gordon used to say, we don't care about realism in games because people come to our games to escape from reality. And so we have this strong belief that fantasy is the thing. But every single one of these is breaking through into reality in some interesting way. And we don't feel good about reality as game designers. We're a little uncomfortable about reality. We talk about realism, and we know, realism can make your game better sometimes if it's the right kind of realism, but normally we're thinking about visual realism. But there's all these other kinds of realism that can come into the game. And that's what all of these had in common here. All of them are coming through into reality in some way. Guitar Hero playing a real guitar, and Webkins with a real stuffed animal, and even the Xbox achievements. It's like outside the reality of the game. There's a higher level scoring system. But it's not just us that we're kind of snuck up on by this reality thing, and it's not just happening to us. Go look at TV. The people in TV, their heads are spinning. Everything's turned into reality TV. Go to the grocery store. It's not just groceries anymore. It's organic groceries. They're more genuine. They're more real groceries. You go to McDonald's and a Big Mac. Well, you could get a Big Mac, or you could get the real burger, the Angus burger, made with real this and that and whatever. Everything's suddenly about reality. Now, what's going on? Is this just how it's always been? Well, I found this really interesting book called Authenticity. It's by the guys who wrote The Experience Economy, for people who know that book. And Gilmore and Pine put forth this interesting concept that the most valuable thing in products today is, are they real? Are they authentic? Which is a bold hypothesis. And then they go further and they say, well, now why is it? Why now? It didn't always used to be this way. Certainly that's not what sold stuff in the 80s, right? It wasn't reality and authenticity that sold stuff then. What is it now that people are demanding reality, demanding authenticity? And they're arguing that all this virtual stuff that's been creeping up on us over the last 20 years has really cut us off from nature. We're cut off from nature. We're cut off from self-sufficiency. We couldn't be self-sufficient if we wanted to. We don't know how to do it. We live in a bubble of fake bullshit. And we have this hunger to get to anything that's real. Even if the best we can do is a Starbucks mocha with real Swiss chocolate, we'll take it. Oh, it's real. Look how real that seems to me relatively to what I'm used to. And so there's this idea that maybe there's this hunger for reality. And you might believe that, you might not, but once I read this authenticity book, I started seeing it everywhere. Everywhere I looked, every ad was about, about their product being the real one. And I, go to see the movie Avatar. And you might say, oh, Avatar, well, that was, cool special effects, and it was really a lot of fluff. But it's the movie that's made the most money of all movies of all time, and it's got a good shot at Best Picture. And what's this movie about? This movie is about the question of, we know technology cuts us off from the real world. And the movie addresses the question of, can we then use that technology in order to penetrate back into reality and back into something genuine? So it may be this movie is not just fluff, and maybe it really is resonating with something important for people. Anyway,